Hey there, everybody. We are getting ready to start game four of a four-game series in 1979 between the 79 Mets and the 79 Dodgers. Pitching for the Mets is going to be Craig Swan against Andy Messerschmidt for the Dodgers. Now, Messerschmidt was 2-4 with a 4.91 ERA in 11 starts, while Craig Swan was actually the ace of the Mets staff. He started 35 games. He was 14-13 with a 3.29 ERA. Leading it off for the Mets is going to be Frank Taveras, the shortstop. Elliot Maddox in right field, batting second. Lee Mazzilli in center field, batting third. Batting fourth is Richie Hebner, the third baseman. He's back from some back problems. Back in the lineup after missing 5 or 6 days. Steve Henderson is in left field, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Ed Kranepool, the veteran. Batting seventh is John Stearns, the catcher. Eighth is Doug Flynn, the second baseman. And ninth is Craig Swan, the pitcher. We're about to get started. We got a new dice tray. It's the silent one. Let's hear it. So that's going to be, the only thing is we got some issues there. Let's drop these again because I'm not sure if I picked them all up. Okay, so it's 862. It's going to be outrange, and that's going to be popped up to the right side. And that's Steve Garvey. Waits and puts it away. One down. Elliot Maddox. He bats from the right side. And in play 39. It's going to be outrange as well. That's going to be popped up again to the right side, but this time it's going to be Lopes. 2 away. And that's a 5. That's patient. A patient 26 on Mazzilli's card is going to base. It's a base on balls. Mazzilli walks. 2-out walk. And Mazzilli's always a danger to run. We're going to test it out. And as a 7, he does not. And we're going to re-roll both. And that's a 9. A 9 is patient 85. That's going to be outrange. So we have a ground ball at second base. Lopes flips to Russell for the force. After half an inning, no score. Craig Swan facing Davey Lopes, leadoff hitter for the Dodgers. And that's a 9. That's ballpark 65. Here at Dodger Stadium, a righty goes all the way up to 81. So we're going to roll. We're going to roll for Lopes. It's 1-31 is gone. And that's a 70. I don't know how that happened, but it's a 70. And it's going to be in the out range. It's a ground ball, second base, Flynn. 1 away. Russell. And that's an 8. That's tough. A tough 20. It's a strikeout. Russell down on strikes. Russell doesn't strike out very much. Tough 21. Reggie Smith swings and misses for out number 3. It's going to be Stevie Henderson, Ed Kranepool, and John Stearns for the Mets. And that's tough. A tough 40. That's going to be a strikeout. Henderson. Curveball gets him. And Ed Kranepool batting from the left side. So 4, that's wheelhouse 96. A wheelhouse 96. Could be a fly ball right field. And it's John Stearns with 2 outs here in the top of the second. So 5. That's patient 0-5. That's going to be a base on balls to Stearns, a 2-out walk. Deja vu all over again. Messerschmitt to Flynn. Actually, John Stearns, we're rolling that for John Stearns' run. Now we're rolling it. It's going to be defense, an 88 defense. And it's going to be an out. It's going to be the first baseman grounded to first. And Garvey puts it away. That ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Dodgers are bringing up Garvey, saying Thomason. And that's a 572, in play 72. That's outrange. Fly ball lifted to center, Lee Mazzilli. One down. Craig Swan sets and deals. 58 is going to be a single. Grounder up the middle and through to center field. So Say is on with a single. Ron Say is 3. He goes. He had 3 stolen bases. So we're going to roll to see if he goes. And he does not. We'll roll again. We'll roll them all together this time. Gary Thomason. That's an 11. That's a patient 21, and that's a base on balls. Thomason gets a walk. First and second, Say on second. Thomason on first. 1 out. Bottom of the second. No score. It's going to be Darryl Thomas, switch hitter, batting from the left side. He batted .266 versus righties with 4 home runs. And that's going to be a 4 in play 0-5, an in play 0-5, and that's going to be trouble. That's pulled down the line, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Coming around to score easily is Say. And here comes Thomason, and Darryl Thomas, the relay, going into third, and he's out. No, he's safe. Under the tag. And Darryl Thomas, a 2-run triple here with 1 out in the bottom of the second, gives the Dodgers a 2-0 lead. So Darryl Thomas with a triple. We're going to double check that triple. 0-5 on an in play is going to be a triple for Darryl Thomas. Wow. So runner on third. Mets infield is in right now. And that's a 6 in play. An in play 66. And that's going to be a grounder to second. We're going to have to roll for that. Let's find our little card here if we can. Should be lying around somewhere. There it is. Let's take a look at what that says. So we're going to roll a couple of die here. 2-5, runner holds, batter out. Runner on third. So we're going to either hold the runner or send the runner on an odd number. They send the runner, and they do send the runner. So if it rolls 6-8, he's going to be out at home because there's only 1 out. Actually, usually with no outs, I usually hold the runner. So I'm going to do what I normally do. With 1 out, I would send the runner. Because obviously with 2 outs, he's not going to have that opportunity. And so we're going to roll. And that's a 7. Runner out at home. So we rolled a 60. That was a 4-2. Tagged out at home. So it's a fielder's choice. And it was a 4. It's a 4-2. Okay. 4-2. Fielder's choice, runner out at home. He's tagged out. And I don't know why they asked me to input the numbers again. I don't understand that. But anyway, Steve Yeager's on at first. On the fielder's choice. And it's Messerschmitt now. And he's a 3 batter. We didn't pull a card for him. Payoff pitch. Very smooth. Once you get it, you got it. And that's a wheelhouse, 93 wheelhouse, and that's going to be out range. Fly ball deep left field. Steve Henderson back to the track, makes the catch. Side retired, but the Dodgers Pick up 2 runs here in the bottom of the second. They lead it 2-0. Now, the Dodgers have won 3 games in a row from the Mets. I mean, they have an impressive offense and a pitching staff that can hold its own. It's ballpark 0-8, so that's going to be on the pitcher. Craig Swan is going to have an opportunity here in the wheelhouse. 1-16 is a hit. And that's a 25. That's going to be an outrange. That's going to be a grounder back to Messerschmidt. Throws out Swan, 1 away. What a waste of roll that was. Frankie Taveras, he's 0 for 1. And that's an 8. That's in play 6-19, in play 19, and that's a ball grounded up the middle and through to center field. Darryl Thomas gets it in, and Taveras is on with a single. Now, he's always a threat to steal. We're going to see if he does. And that's a 2, that's a 5, and Taveras is a 6. Oh, Yeager's in there? Oh, they're gonna hold him. Not running with Yeager. Not running with Yeager. We've tried that already. Everybody's been thrown out. He's got a 2-arm, and Taveras is a C, so we're gonna play it safe. So now it's gonna be an 8. That's in play 23. In play 23 on Elliot Maddox's card, and that's gonna be a single line drive into left. Runners advance 1 base. So first and second with 1 out. The Mets have something going here. And it's Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli is their best hitter. I'll tap on his name over here and they'll tell us his stats. Up to now, he's batting .393 on the season. Batting .393 on the season. He's got 5 stolen bases, 10 RBIs, 2 home runs. So he's holding his own. And here comes the pitch from Messerschmidt to Mazzilli. Runners on first and second. And that's a 7. That's tough. A tough 89. That's outrange. It's a grounder to short. It's out on Messerschmidt's card. And it's... Oh, okay. It's not out on Mazzilli's card, so that's going to be a fielder's choice. So that's going to be a fielder's choice to the shortstop. It's going to be 6-4. Runner advances to third. Runner at second is out on the force. And Mazzilli's on at first. Frank Taveras on at second. Mazzilli's not running. Nobody on the Mets is running today. Not against Yeager. And that is defense 96, which is going to be an out. But we got to see what happens here because, it doesn't matter. It's an out. It's popped up. It's a shortstop. So it's it is popped up to the shortstop. That's Bill Russell. Waits for it. And puts it away. That retires the side, and the Mets leave 2 stranded. We go to the bottom of the third. Craig Swan, ace for the Mets, pitching against the LA Dodgers. 10, patient 10. Patient 17. It's going to be a base on ball to Lopes. And Lopes is a danger on the base paths. He's apt to run at any time. And there he goes, 5. And he does go. He's a B. A B3. We're going to see what that is. A B3 is very good base stealer. So we're going to pull a card. We're going to check his stolen bases. Very good is safe. Safe under the tag. Lopes takes off. The throw from Stearns, not in time. So Bill Russell with nobody out, and Lopes singled and stole second. Actually, he was walked. I'm sorry. So that's an 8. That's tough. A tough 0-8. That's a strikeout. Russell strikes out for the second time. And he's not known for striking out very much. Here's Reggie Smith. That's a 4. That's in play. And in play 61. It's going to be outrange. Fly ball lifted to right. Elliot Maddox in right field for the Mets today after a long, long period of being out on the disabled list. Haven't seen him in over a month. And now with 2 outs is Steve Garvey. Garvey's 0 for 1. That's a tough 0-3, and that's a swing and a miss. Curveball got him. So the Dodgers are retired. We go to the top of the fourth, 2-0 Dodgers. Andy Messerschmidt climbs the mound. He's going to be facing Henderson, Kranepool, and Stearns. Here's the pitch to Henderson. Henderson's 0 for 1. That's a 9. Patient 75. That's going to be out range. Fly ball lifted to center. Darryl Thomas. 1 down. Ed Kranepool. He flied out in his last at bat. And that's a ballpark 16. That's going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse for Kranepool against righties. It's 1 for 12. Or 1-2-12. It's a 23. It's going to be a base hit. Line to right. Reggie Smith gets it in, but Kranepool is on with a single. And now it's Stearns. And that's a 6. A 6 is patient. A 29 is going to be a base on balls. So the Mets have runners at first and second with 1 out. Top of the fourth. They're down 2-0. So this is an opportunity for the Mets. Doug Flynn is the batter. He bats from the right side. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out. 7 is tough. A 0-9, and that's a strikeout. High heat. Got him. And it's Craig Swan with 2 outs. Can't expect too much here. 6 patient 54. That's out range. Fly ball lifted to right. Reggie Smith makes the catch. Again, the Mets strand 2. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Dodgers. Now, the Mets have lost all the games here in this 4-game stand. So far, they've lost 3 games, and they're down in this one. A pitch from Swan, that's an 11. Patient 75. That's going to be a hit by pitch, so Say gets plunked. He's on at first. Gary Thomason. Say is not a threat to steal. Well, we rolled a 3, so there goes Say. Now, Say is a D. So it's a D3. We're going to look at what that is. D3 is fair. We didn't expect Say to go. He goes, and he's fair, and he's out. Stearns guns him down. Ron Say caught stealing. He had 3 stolen bases and was caught stealing 3 times. Let's try that again. Out at second base, caught stealing to... the next batter is a lefty, so it'll be the shortstop covering 2-6. So it's Gary Thomason with 1 out. 7, that's a tough 0-6, and that's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 on Thomason. Curveball got him. Darryl Thomas, 2 outs. Pitch from Swan. We're using the stealth dice tower, the stealth dice tower. Defense 0-5. That's going to be trouble. That's going to be either a range hit or an error because it's so low that it falls into both. And it's going to be a center field range hit. Now we're going to pull another card to see how many bases to center field. A hit to center field is a double. So a ball that gets by Mazzilli, and Mazzilli after it, and Darryl Thomas into second base with a 2-out double here, putting a man in scoring position. It's Yeager and then Messerschmidt. And Yeager is batted 177 versus righty, so we're not worried about him. That's a 7. That's tough. And a 0-3, and that's a swing and a miss. Yeager down on strikes for out number 3. Side retired. So Mazzilli got fooled on that ball to the outfield, and it just didn't get to it. Kind of did a stutter step. First he backed up, then stuttered, and then ran in for it. And he just was not ready. So it's Frank Taveras. He's 1 for 2 against Andy Messerschmidt in the top of the 5th. We're moving along here. 7 tough 51. That's going to be right outside the hit range. It's a grounder to Say. Say dives up with it, guns to first, and gets Taveras by half a step. Whoa, Taveras didn't like that call at all. It was close. It was close. Elliot Maddox, he's 1 for 2. 10. That's ballpark 31. That's going to be in the Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse. And that's a 46, a Wheelhouse 46. That's outside his wheelhouse, and that's going to be a pop-up to the left side. Russell makes the catch. Lee Mazzilli now, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. It's an 8, in play 36. In play 36 is outside. It's going to be popped up, and that's Yeager behind the plate, calling for it, and makes the catch. So that's 3 up, 3 down. And it's Swan. Here in the bottom of the 5th, it's 2-0 Dodgers. It's the pitcher. Messerschmidt is up. He's a 3 pitcher hitting card. So that's going to be an 11. Patient 0-6. A patient 0-6 is trouble. That's a base on ball. So Swan walks the pitcher, which is not a good sign. And now there's some movement in the Mets bullpen. Davey Lopes, the batter. That's a 4. That's in play 21. And an in play 21 is going to be a single line drive to center. Runner advances to third. So Messerschmidt hustles over to third. And the Mets are in trouble right now with runners on first and third and nobody out. So it's going to be Orozco, the left-hander, and it's going to be Bernard, the right-hander, in the dugout in the bullpen for the Mets. Bill Russell, infield in for the Mets on this one. It's going to be 9. 9 is ballpark. 59. That's going to be Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse is 1-8. 1-8 is 0-4. That's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Henderson to the track, to the wall. Looks up. It's out of here. 3-run dinger for Bill Russell, and the Mets are down 5-0. And you know what? Craig Swan wishes he had that pitch back. He's not happy with himself. Bill Russell, who hit 4 home runs all season versus right-handers, gets a hold of one here when we rolled Wheelhouse, and then a 0-4. Not good. Reggie Smith. And that's going to be it for Swan. Swan is out of there. It's going to be Dwight Bernard. Swan is out of there for the Mets. In actuality, he was pulled early from this game. It was a blowout, this game. So we're looking for Bernard now. He should be at the bottom. There he is. Okay, we're putting him into the game, and he's going to be batting 9th. He's in there. We made our changes. Now Bernard is a right-handed throwing 27-year-old. Pitched in 32 games for the Mets. Was 0-3 with a 4.70 ERA. He's going to be facing Reggie Smith, who is 0-2 on the day. Here's the pitch. It's a 4. Patient 88. Patient 88. It's out range, and that's going to be a ground that is short. Frank Taveras. 1 away. Steve Garvey now, who's 0-2. He's flied out and struck out. And that's a patient 92. That's going to be an out. Fly ball lifted to left. Steve Henderson. 2 away. And it's Ron Say. He's 1 for 1 and has been hit by a pitch. That's a base on balls to Say. Ron Say makes it to first with 2 outs on a walk by Bernard. Now it's Thomason. Thomason's 0 for 1. He's walked as well. Walked and struck out. That's a tough 20. That's a strikeout. Thomason down on strikes. Messerschmidt's going to face Richie Hebner. See if the Mets can get something going here offensively. They've only managed 3 hits. That's an 8 in play, 45. That's going to be out range. That's going to be a ground to the third. Say, across the diamond, 1 away. Next is Henderson. It's an 11. That's ballpark 70 against a righty. That's going to be Wheelhouse. 1-13, that ball's out of here. It's a 46, and that's in the out range. Ground ball to first, Garvey. 2 away. And Ed Krampel was 1 for 2. He's a lefty. 7 is tough. 12 is a strikeout. Krampel swings through it. We go to bottom of the 6th. Bernard for the Mets. 5-0. Dodgers. Here's the pitch from Dwight Bernard. That's 6. That's in play 71. It's a ground ball second. Flynn throws to Kranepool. Gets Thomas. Yeager next. And that's going to be popped up to Taveras. Calls for it. Waits. Makes the catch. Now it's Bernard. Dwight Bernard is up, and actually, wait a second, I'm sorry. It's Messerschmidt, the pitcher for the, that threw me off. Messerschmidt, the pitcher for the Dodgers. Here's the pitch from Bernard. There's 2 outs. It's a 6, that's in play 16. In play 16, he's a 3 batter. That's going to be out range. Oh, it just missed being a hit, actually. Up to 15, that's a 16. So the 16 is a line out to second base. Flynn snatches it. It's going to be John Stearns leading it off for the Mets in the top of the 7th. It's 5-0 Dodgers. They're going to complete the sweep, it seems, in a couple of innings if the Mets don't get their offense going. And that's a 10. That's ballpark 15. A ballpark 15 puts Stearns into the wheelhouse. 1-14. That ball's out of here. It's a 99. You couldn't get far enough away from what he needed. And that's popped up this time to the left side. Say makes the catch. Next is Flynn. Flynn is 0 for 2. And that's a 7. That's tough 74. That's a fly ball center field. Darryl Thomas in a few steps makes the catch. And it's Bernard. Now Bernard is a 3. And the Mets are gonna let him bat here in the actually top of the 7th. You know what? With 2 outs. What the heck? Bring in a pinch hitter, Gil Flores. So Flores for Bernard. Here's the pitch to Flores. And that's a 6 patient, 73. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. For out number 3, we go to the bottom of the 7th. And the Mets are going to have a new pitcher. It's going to be Twitchell. Wayne Twitchell for the Mets. And Twitchell's going to be batting 9th. Here's the pitch to Twitchell. And that's a 6. Tough 77. That's out range. Fly ball center field. Okay, just leave him. 1 away. Bill Russell. That's patient 19. That's going to be a single up the middle. Russell hit a home run earlier on. He's on at first now. Maybe stealing. And 5. He is not. So Reggie Smith with 1 out against Twitchell. That's a 10. Patient 57. That's going to be a single. And sharp liner drops in front of the left fielder Henderson. Runner advances 1 base. So first and second. Steve Garvey. And that's a 10. That's patient 07. A patient 07 is a base on balls. Bases loaded. And that's going to be all for Twitchell. He's out of there. It's going to be Dale Murray coming in. Dale Murray replaces Twitchell. And the Mets have the infield back. They're going for the double play. They're down by 5. They're not going to bring the infield in and risk. That's 8 in play. 11. That's not good news for the Mets. In play 11 is on Ron Say's card. It's going to be a grounder up the middle and through to center field. The runners advance 1 base. RBI single for Ron Say. 6-0. And Dale Murray to Thomason. And that's an 8. That's in play 58. In play 58 is the out range. That's going to be a ground that is short. This may be a double play. The double play the Mets are praying for. And it's a under 10 there because it's an 8. And it's not. It's going to be a fielder's choice. A run's going to score. So it's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. And the throw not in time at first base. Thomason hustling down that line. So a run scores. Another runner advances. Runner at second is out. Thomason on at first. Garvey at third. 7-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 7th. On the mound is Dale Murray versus Darryl Thomas. Thomas is 2 for 3 today. We're rolling in our stealth dice tower. 4 in play 94. Outrange, fly ball, left field. Not deep enough. Actually, there was 2 outs, so there was no threat of a sacrifice fly there. There was 2 outs. All right, Messerschmitt to Taveras. Let's try that again. Everything fell out of my hands. All right, it's patient 57. And that's going to be fly ball to right. Reggie Smith, 1 away. Elliot Maddox, who's 1 for 3. Patient 68. Ground ball, second base, Lopes. Throws him out. 2 down. And Lee Mazzilli, who's 0 for 2. Pitch from Messerschmitt. It's defense, 10. That's going to be either an error or a hit. It's going to be a range. That's through second base. Lopes didn't get a jump on it. And a hit to second base is going to be a single. So Mazzilli on with a single. And down 7-0. He's not running. So we won't even check for that. 2 outs now. Mazzilli on at first. Top of the 8th. And that's going to be again, a defense 51. We're going to see about this. It's going to be error shortstop. 51. We got to look and see what Russell is. A 2. A 2 goes up to 40. So that's going to be a ball that Russell gets to, grounded is short, and throws across the diamond to get Hebner. Out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 7-0 Dodgers. Not a very exciting game. But I'm glad we're out of here. We're out of LA because this was not meant to be. We lost. This is going to be the 4th game in a row. Dale Murray pitching to Yeager. That's a 5. That's in play 0-8. That's a base on balls. So they have this Dodger team has an impressive lineup. Messerschmitt's going to swing away. He's a 3. That's a 10. Patient 85. That's going to be an out range. And that's a ground that is short. We rolled a 10. That's not going to be near. Now, it's going to be a fielder's choice. And an 85. It's going to be a 6-4. And Messerschmitt now is on at first with 1 out. Davey Lopes, the batter. That's a 7, tough 68, a tough 68. It's in the out range, and that's a ground to the second this time with a 7. We got a double play there. Yeah, we only got one, another fielder's choice. And that fielder's choice was to the second baseman. So this one's going to be fielder's choice 4-6. And Lopes on at first. Lopes is not stealing in this situation. Up 7-0 here in the late innings. Russell's 2 for 4. He's homered and singled. And that's in play 72. And that's a fly ball center field, Mazzilli, for out number 3. So last licks for the Mets, 7 down, 7-0. So far, Messerschmidt has a 4-hitter going. Pitched a heck of a ball game. He's dealing, if you don't mind that term. And it's Messerschmidt to Henderson. That's a 7, tough 89, a tough 89 outrange. Grounded is short, Bill Russell. 1 down. Cranepool. That's a 6. That's patient. 65. And that's a grounder short again. Bill Russell to his left. Wheels. Throws him out. Two down. We're down to our last batter, John Stearns, our last out. That's a 9. That's patient 19. Patient 19. That's a base on balls. That's a 3rd walk for Stearns today. So Stearns is contributing in a losing effort, and it's going to be Doug Flynn. He's batting. I always let him bat. 7, tough 42, and that's a single. That's a line drive to left field, runner to second, but with 2 outs, Stearns is going to hustle over. He was on the go already, so he's going to hustle to third. So runners on first and third now. And it's Murray, but we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Mets. And it's going to be Beauclair, the lefty. There's movement in the Dodger bullpen. It's a 5-hitter now. There's 2 outs. It's 7-0. And it's going to be Beauclair, Bruce Beauclair. Here's the pitch to the lefty Beauclair, who bats 184 against righties. And that's a 7. That's tough, 52. And that's a strikeout. So Messerschmidt goes 9. He records a complete game and strikes out the last batter. Tough 52 was a strikeout on Beauclair's card against a righty. And the Mets lose another one, but they lose 4 in a row to the Dodgers. Dodgers have a mighty club here, especially when they're at home. The win's going to go to Messerschmidt, pitched a 5-hitter. The line was Mets 0 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 9 left on base. The Dodgers had 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 7 left on base, and Swan's going to be tagged for the loss. Messerschmidt gets the win, and that's all she wrote for this game. And I bid you farewell until the next game. It will be a 3-game series with San Diego. We will get started on that tonight. So I got to set up, and I will be